Hello everybody, this is Rupali Mullick reporting on behalf of Chess India from the Sunway Sitges International Chess Festival. I am here with Grandmaster Sasikiran Krishnan from India. He's the 5th Grandmaster of India, as everybody knows. And congratulations, Sasikiran. You've had a fabulous run in this tournament. You've played such solid chess. And we would like to ask you, how do you feel right now winning the 3rd prize?
Well, I was quite close to winning the 2nd prize, so it was kind of a small disappointment. But I would say, except for the last game in the Armageddon, I was where I lost some time in the slightly, I should be saying completely winning position, but I completely forgot about the time control. Yeah, at some point I watched at the clock, and still I thought maybe we both are having equal time, and I was much ahead on material, and I started to play a bit slow, which was which cost me in the end. Otherwise, I would say today's classical game, which this was I think my best game in the tournament, and I won against Evgeny Romanov. And it was a Rai Lopez. We started off this system with an early knight G7, which is quite popular even at a top level, actually. I had a similar game against Van Forest in the Olympiads. So we were kind of following, in general, at least the basic structure and so on. But I think I introduced A4 as a fresh idea, which was kind of, I will probably catch on a bit, because it forces black to make some kind of decision in the queen side, and once he places bishop to b7, I need not bother about bishop g4 threats later on. So basically I save a tempo on the king side. And so this was afterwards I played quite normally, and at some point I provoked him to expand on the king's side. I generally had the impression that this h6 and g5 weakening the king side is always provide me with some compensation, because he has weakened the light squares and so on. So I of course I had a nice compensation, but the game was quite complicated, and at some point he probably missed some continuation, which could have been led to a completely unclear position. And at one point when he allowed me to play knight to g6 and he replied rook f7, here I came back with knight f4, which is completely not required. Bishop h4 is probably winning on the spot, because I have all my pieces in play, and his king side is much weaker. And instead I played knight f4, which is still strong, but it's not the best move. But then the kind of we had a position like where I'm still better, but it's still complicated. But he went wrong, I think, with knight d to b3. He took so many pieces away from the king side, and then after something else, maybe I should have played rook a2 at this point. So still, rook b1 was still an error, and here it was completely unclear. But he erred with I think he played d5. Yeah, d5 was an error, because now his bishop is completely shut down, and after I go back knight d2, his king side is basically creaking. Yeah, and after this I finished off without any big trouble. It was a big messy game, but if I had played bishop h4, I would have been quite happy with the quality of the game, because when I missed bishop h4, it's becoming more like a seesaw game, not exactly a good quality game. Yeah. So, but eventually when I won, I felt it was okay. It's still a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, the seesaw games are more fun for the viewers, for sure.
Well, for me, I would like to play a strong game without any big mistakes and so on. Yeah, and when you have the chance to finish with a strong move, it makes a nice impression as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. But if you realize, today was a very decisive day, as in all the top tables except for the first table, there were no draws. games, and they were all decisive results. So I think a lot was at stake for everybody.
Yes, but also in the sense, I guess also a lot of white players won, yeah?
Yeah.
Because everybody understands at the top, like, okay, I mean, you have to take some kind of, at least a small risk to make it to the price list and so on. So, and well, that's naturally going for all the fighting chess and so on, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Could you tell us a little bit about what was going through your mind in the playoffs? I mean, you started out with...
Well, I mean, in the first game of the playoff, I had the black against Andreikin, yeah, and I think he just blundered this pawn on h4, and after this I managed to win a good game. I mean, once I win this pawn, and then I played a blockade on f5, and it was quite a nice game, actually, and good control. The second game, of course, I misplayed it somehow in the opening, and then he got a very nice position. At some point, actually, he misplayed the attack himself, and then he allowed me to get back into the game. But then maybe at some point I still should not have played bishop d4, allowing his knight to f4. Maybe something else was still playable, something like knight d2 and then f3 somehow to stay with the position. And instead I just messed it up with bishop d4, and after knight f4 and knight g2 I'm simply busted. So there we have 1-1, and then we went to the Armageddon, and I kind of chose a system which was kind of innocuous, and the moves are flowing much easily. At some point he simply missed this tactic with bishop takes d5 and knight f5, and I'm probably generating a fantastic attack. But what happened later was just strange, because with the queen on e7, I probably should have simply played something like knight takes f7, or maybe even simply castle on the queen side. And instead I went to take the piece back, and I allowed a lot of counterplay. And okay, it was a bit messy, but still, when I think after I managed to win f7, I think it's still better for me. In the end, I think he just blundered an exchange, and then I managed to win the Armageddon. So the next opponent was I played against Inarkiev. I think the first game with white I played, I think, quite well, and it was quite a nice game for blitz. Yeah, I mean, I this d5 and knight d4 is a nice idea, and then I won the exchange, and then afterwards I managed to bring rook a3, and then, I mean, it was a good game, I would say, just to all the pieces were playing and so on, and eventually he gave this pawn on c7, and after this I win the next exchange. In the second game as well, actually, I was having two bishops, and in fact I was getting a kingside attack going. I misplayed the attack somehow, and it eventually ended up in opposite color bishops, which was still possible to hold somehow, but in time trouble I messed it up. So now we're down to the last Armageddon game. Well, we played this bishop's opening, and then but here he blundered with knight e5, I think, probably because after bishop e5, d5, queen g5, I'm simply 2 pawns up for nothing, and I managed to beat off the attack. But at some point I saw the clock that we had like roughly 2 minutes and 40 seconds each, and I was like 2 pawns up, I should be comfortably winning. But then I started to take much more time, and you know, all these plans with b5, b4, it was a bit slow. I should just play knight a3 check and then try to finish off immediately. But I completely forgot about time, and then eventually I lost some time. So
that was heartbreaking.
That was tough, yeah.
I don't know about you, but my blood pressure was very high.
Well, I mean, of course, we at some point when we raced, I had 6 seconds. We started to play faster, but you can't really outrun time. Like, he had 10 seconds, I had 6 seconds, but you cannot really do the stuff. He just, it's very difficult to, you know.
And you know, this is feedback I got from a lot of people. The game itself was so interesting that people just forgot to look at the clock. We were just looking at you, giving your checks. It was just such a active game. And before we knew it, it was just like over.
Yeah, well, finally I was a piece of, but it's not enough. We have to play on time.
The time, yeah, I know. Sure. But you know, it was such a fabulous evening. I have to congratulate you. You, in the cold, without your jacket,
Well, actually, I did not expect that we were probably playing outside, but when it was quite sunny, it was quite all right.
It was
but
comfortable.
afterwards, it became a bit colder, and then the organizers provide a nice. I don't know what's
that heater, yeah,
heater,
yeah.
But it was like much more a more traditional one. Yeah.
You have to believe this. But my motherly instinct instantly turned on, and the minute I saw you without a jacket, I'm like, how is he going to play chess without a jacket? And I almost was coming to you and said, listen, have you forgotten your jacket? Can I get you?
No, of course. If I had known that we have been playing outside, that I would probably brought my jacket.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I managed to get my jacket. I mean, after the first tie breaks, yeah, so it was okay.
You've been our hero today. Seriously, it was very, very exciting. Thank you so much for all the fun, and I congratulate you one more time. Where do you go next from here?
Well, I've been playing a lot actually in the second half of the year. This is almost like my 5th or 6th tournament, so it's time to rest.
Rest. Okay. Well, wish you a very happy new year, and hope you come back in 2019 with more exciting chess.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.